Alright, welcome back to another video. I'm doing this showcase a little different than how I do my other showcases because this literally just premiered. But this is actually my second time recording this because I messed it up the first time and I had my mic turned off and everything, so that was nice. But yeah, let's analyze this real fast. So this video is probably going to be a bit shorter. My recording was initially like 10 minutes, but it'll probably be shorter now because I already know exactly what I'm going to say. So it starts off with Foyu showing off Soul Unbound, where he shows off the fact that you can attack while your soul is unbound. I don't know if you can attack with anything other than just the fruit, which you probably can't because it wouldn't make any sense. But as you can see, he does mini hollow barrage in his ghost form while he's far away from where his body initially is, and he's even punching, and he's not taking any damage from Haname over here. So that's pretty interesting. You know, he's just chucking out the negative hollows, mini hollow barrage, everything, right? And there's nothing he can really do about it. So that's definitely something that's interesting. Another thing I want to point out is if you notice the damage that Foyu is doing, you can't really trust that. I mean, I kind of assuming that it's a little low considering the fact that he's level 500. So yeah, I would assume the fruit is fairly low damage. I'm not going to assume it's high, but again, that's just me assuming. I did look at this and realized that that is Kamikaze Hollow. It's the ult. That's Explosive Snap Twirl, which seems that once you're caught in it, you can't do anything about it, but the initial part is guardable, which is definitely very interesting. But again, the damage on it doesn't look great, and obviously for you spamming it, which you won't be able to do in a real match, of course. What else? So yeah, he's going for that. The only thing I'm not too positive about is what the guard breaks are. Obviously, I know negative hollow goes through guard. I'm not even sure which one explosive snap is. I'm not gonna lie. Soul Unbound, obviously, it's just a passive type move. It doesn't actually do any damage. Mini hollow barrage obviously doesn't guard break. We just watch him guard it. Explosive snap twirl, I noticed, also isn't guardable. Is guardable, I mean. And Kamikaze Hollow's an ult, so I'd have to assume that it's not guardable. It has to guard break. It would be really dumb if it didn't. But yeah. So you got the spirits, all that. No Foyu just doing his thing. He hits him with a negative hollow, and then he goes for a twirl. Twirl's range seems pretty short. Looks like something you'd M1 into or combo into. But yeah. So wait. Oh wait. Hold on. I think I figured out how it works. Yeah, this actually confused me. Hold on. Go back a little bit. So you notice how he has mini hollow barrage out, right? He has them out, and then he sends them. And then, if you notice, some of them get stuck right here. And then, they're stuck, okay. He gets hit by the ult, which does guard break. I mean, I'd assume. But then, they explode once he's snapped, I'm pretty sure. So, it's a two-parter. The move... Yeah, okay. Yeah. Mini hollow barrage gets stuck to him, and then you can activate it with the second move, which is snap. So, really, it's two moves in one, which is kind of stupid. They should just kind of explode. I mean, actually, no, it's kind of cool, actually. It's kind of cool. Then you have the ult, which honestly seems like, I don't know what the tracking's like, but it looks like it's very easy to dodge. So, yeah. Do you have to activate that? Or will it, hold on, do you have to snap to activate that, or will it just activate on its own? Can you, hold on. That adds a whole new level to this. Can you hit people while they're stuck in that, and then you can activate that whenever you want? Because if so, that'd actually be a pretty good ult then. That'd make it pretty good, yeah. Like, it sure it'd be a low damage, but it would hold them in place and then do a decent amount of damage. That's alright. That's not as bad as I made it out to seem the first time I reacted to this. Yeah, it gets hit by a normal negative hollow. My impressions at this point when I saw this fruit were it's probably the worst fruit in the game. Now, hear me out. The reason I say this, or the worst rare fruit. Oh my god, I made it sound so much worse. The worst rare fruit in the game. And the reason I say that is because its damage doesn't look fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. It's reasonable to believe that Foyu has a lot of skill points in Devil Fruit. If you just look at his HP, look at his stamina, look how much damage he does with the sword, it's reasonable to assume he has a lot in Devil Fruit, and it's not even doing very much damage then. And also, we can't tell what the cooldowns are. The stamina drain does look like it's not much either, but it just looks like it wouldn't be good for PvP or PvE. PvP, I feel like I don't need to explain. If a lot of its moves are guardable and a lot of its moves, you know, don't do very high damage, then, you know, it won't be too good for PvP. But then the PvE one might be the one that catches people off guard the most. Because Soul Unbound seems like it would be pretty good for PvE. You know, you aggro enemies to where you really aren't. That kind of seems like something that would be really good. The reason I say it's not is you should look at that stamina drain. Foyu's been in the form for not even like, hold on, let's see how long he was in the form for. Okay, 6 seconds in. He's in the form for roughly 35 seconds, right? 30, 40-ish seconds. 35 to 40 seconds I'd give him, right? He lost 500 stamina. If you're not doing that much damage, right, and let's assume that you're chucking out moves, then you'd need high stamina, high Devil Fruit build for farming with this. And then that would leave like no room for error. So if like you took, like, you wouldn't have much in defense after that. I don't know, I feel like there'd be better fruits for farming. Maybe not for rares. The more I look at it, that's even then 40 seconds is not enough. You'd have to travel to them, do all the moves, and then you maybe, if you're willing to wait it out. I mean, it definitely, the potential is there, right? The potential is there for the farming, but I don't know how actually good it will be for farming. But PvP, I'm unsure, because the showcase for the PvP part is kind of like, it's not all that, like, it's unclear what guard breaks, what doesn't, what the real damage for these moves are. It's hard to tell, but I don't really see it being that good for PvP. Like, all the rares are fairly good for PvP. Bomb, I loved using Bomb for PvP. I didn't love using Bari for PvP, but it was undoubtedly really good for PvP. Marrow got buffed like crazy, and now it's like really good for PvP as well. Even Spin is really good for PvP, but I don't see this being very good for PvP. Something about it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that great. Unless there's something like you can keep your opponent in that for a long time and keeps hitting them, but I don't know why Phil you wouldn't just hit him while he was in the Kamikaze Hollow just to show that off. But yeah, 160 damage, that's okay damage, especially considering the fact that we're assuming here that he has a lot in it. He also did Twirl, but it did no damage, so I don't think you can hit them while they are in Kamikaze Hollow. And there's one other thing I wanted to show off. Let's see if I can get to it. I don't know, it was near the end. There it is. Foyu does Soul Unbound, but he gets hit by a Kamikaze Hollow. Now, as we saw earlier, when Anime was trying to M1 Foyu, you couldn't get hurt when you were in your Soul Unbound form, your Ghost form. So this leaves two possibilities for how he got hit by that all while he was in Soul Unbound. Possibility one, it was a bug, right? It wasn't supposed to happen, but the timing was a bit off. You know, he had just entered Soul Unbound form and he got hit. Alright? Option number two, the ghosts can affect you when you're in Soul Unbound, so only other HORO users could hurt HORO users when they're in Soul Unbound form, when they're in their ghost form, which could make sense. I mean, I'm okay with that idea. That makes good sense. Or the third option, which I'm just now taking into account, like as I'm saying this, the Kamikaze Hollow grabbed onto his soul form, wouldn't have done any damage if he had exploded, but since the body of the user was right there when he exploded, he ended up doing damage to the host, taking him out of ghost form, which now that I'm looking at it is probably what happened. But why was he able to grab him in ghost form? Can ghosts get caught in like grab moves, like a Gura grab? Is that something that can happen to them? But yeah, that's pretty much the analysis. I don't know how to feel about this fruit. I'm not like overwhelmed by it or anything. I don't think it's overwhelmingly bad. I don't think it's overwhelmingly good. It definitely does look very cool though. I will give it that. It definitely looks very nice. Probably the coolest looking rare, but actually, yeah, by far the coolest looking rare. But it's just, I don't know. Its kit doesn't seem very great. It looks very creative. Don't get me wrong. Like, the idea of it is really good, but I don't know how practical it'll be. Like, it definitely looks like good fun. All right, that's the point I'm trying to get across. Like, it just, like, these moves look like they're really fun to use. And if it is good, and I do eat my own words, I would love for that to happen. I would love for it to actually be good. And if people do have reasons in the comments for why it would be good for PvP, like the way they analyzed it is different than me, then I would genuinely love to hear it. Like, maybe someone had the idea of, oh, it's not a fruit you'd put high skill points into, it's just like an assisting fruit you'd use when you're maining sword or maining blackleg, and you could just use moves like negative hollow to combo extend, or kamikaze hollow to hold people in place, or twirl to finish off combos, things like that. Or put mini hollow barrage on people, and then as soon as they stop guarding, then you trigger it with explosive snap, use it at the end of combos. If someone has those ideas and like thinks that those would actually, I just had those ideas, what am I saying? Maybe this fruit actually does have the potential to be really good now that I think about it. Those ideas I checked out were actually some pretty good ideas. Maybe it's more of a support fruit. I can't believe I hadn't thought of it like that. I mean, the explosions do have high AoE, so maybe it would also have like really good opportunity for grinding. I mean, not high AoE, but good AoE. So if you grouped up a bunch of enemies, entered Soul Unbound, you had a high Devil Fruit build, chuck out a mini Hollow Barrage, maybe that would work. If Kamikaze Hollow goes through walls, then that would definitely work out really well for grinding, actually. The only thing you'd have trouble with is probably the bosses. Maybe this, but even the bosses, you could get stuck on the other side of a wall if you had the right map. Okay, I'm actually really liking this fruit now. The more I analyze it, the more I realize this fruit actually seems really good. But yeah, that's it for this analysis, this showcase analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed. Those are my opinions on HORO. I think it actually has potential to be really good. See you guys next time. Peace.